I'm Adam. They call me the fixer. And usually, my job is about the measurable, the voltage, the pressure, the structural integrity of a billionaire's panic room. But over the years, spending countless hours in the dark, silent corners of the most expensive homes on the planet, you realize that some things break that no wrench can fix. Sometimes the problems are unseen. This isn't about broken smart glass or a faulty server. This is about a story I heard, a file I stumbled upon during a routine background check on a different celebrity. A file that involved one of the biggest names of the late 90s, Winona Ryder. You know her from every cult classic, every magazine cover, the epitome of cool, gothic grace. But long before the high security demands of today, Winona lived a life where the doors weren't sealed by biometrics, but by something else. This is a story about a very real incident, witnessed by a young starlet who believed she was alone. The year was late 1990s. Winona had bought a beautiful, sprawling house in Los Angeles. It was old Hollywood charm, the kind of house with history, with deep shadows and rooms that held their breath when you walked by. Like all celebrity homes, it was supposed to be a sanctuary. But sanctuaries can be breached, not just by paparazzi, but by the past. The incident began simply enough, a common occurrence I've heard countless times from security teams, a persistent issue with the alarm system. The alarm would trigger for no reason. 3 in the morning, 2 in the afternoon, the house would suddenly scream with sirens. Technicians were called repeatedly. They checked the wiring, they replaced the sensors, they updated the entire perimeter system. Every single diagnostic came back clean. The system was functioning perfectly, yet the alarm kept announcing an intrusion. The security company eventually wrote it off as a rare electrical anomaly, the classic technical excuse for something they can't explain. But Winona knew it wasn't a glitch. The situation escalated beyond just alarms. Winona, by her own account, began experiencing what she described as unmistakable physical events. She would wake up in the middle of the night to the feeling of being watched. She described the air in her room suddenly turning ice cold, a phenomenon usually confined to poorly insulated old houses. But this was isolated, only her bedroom. The most terrifying moment, the one that ended her time in that beautiful house, came one night when she was alone. She was asleep when she was jolted awake by a tremendous force. She didn't just wake up, she felt as though she had been shoved. She was thrown across the bed, ending up hitting the bedside table. She was completely alone. There was no wind, no earthquake, no technical failure that could account for that level of physical displacement. She immediately jumped up, terrified, and saw something truly chilling. A large, wet stain appearing instantly on her pristine white bedding. She claimed it looked like a teardrop, or perhaps something darker, but it appeared out of nowhere on the spot she had been sleeping. This wasn't a film set. There were no special effects or stunt doubles. She was genuinely harmed, physically displaced by an invisible force. The very next morning, Winona Ryder packed a single suitcase and walked out of that house forever. She didn't return, she didn't sell it immediately, she simply abandoned the property, unable to endure another moment under the terrifying surveillance of whatever entity resided there. The sheer power of the incident, the combination of physical force and the inexplicable stain, was enough to completely shatter the reality of a Hollywood star who thought she had seen everything. My role as the fixer often involves cleaning up the fallout of these celebrity meltdowns, rewiring the panic rooms, fixing the damage. But sometimes you come across a file like this, a true account of a real physical event that defies logic. The technicians replaced the cameras, the electricians updated the entire grid, but they never addressed the actual intruder. They never could, because some security breaches are not electrical. This is a story that proves that no matter how famous you are, no matter how much security you can buy, some secrets, some presences, are simply unfixable. Winona Ryder left the house, leaving behind millions of dollars in real estate, because she finally understood that the most terrifying surveillance is the kind that has no lens.